Hello everyone, this is Jack Frost with your weekly update for Nasdaq. Overall price has begun to increase after finding support as both Elliott Wave counts expect, Elliott Wave first, technical analysis last. On the main bullish weekly chart, cycle wave 4 is seen complete at this low, with cycle wave 5 within super cycle wave 1 now pulling price higher. Within cycle wave 5, intermediate wave 4 within primary wave 1 is labeled complete at this low, subdividing well as a complete double zigzag. If intermediate wave 4 does continue any lower, it cannot move into intermediate wave 1 price territory at 11210.38. Below that, no second wave corrective movement within cycle wave 5 can move below its start at 10092.94. An Elliott channel is drawn around the current intermediate degree movements using Elliott's second technique from the end of intermediate wave 2 to the end of intermediate wave 4 with a copy on the end of intermediate wave 3. Intermediate wave 5 and the end of primary wave 1 may find resistance at the upper edge of this channel. Intermediate wave 5 has a target calculated at 17202, where it would reach equality in length with intermediate wave 3. On the bullish daily chart, we can see the end of minute wave 2 within minor wave 3 of intermediate wave 3 just over here, and more detail for intermediate wave 4 with minor waves W, X, and Y. Minor waves W and Y both having an extended minute wave C, with price now increasing, nearing resistance at this Elliott channel drawn around the minor movements within intermediate wave 4. This Elliott channel is drawn using Elliott's first technique from the beginning of minor wave W to the end of minor wave X with a copy on the end of minor wave W. If price breaks above resistance at this channel, then there will be confidence in this low where intermediate wave 4 is labeled complete to be sustained, and for intermediate wave 5 to pull price higher. On the bearish weekly chart, cycle wave 4 is labeled incomplete, currently within primary wave X of either a double zigzag or a double combination. Within intermediate wave C of primary wave X, minor wave 5 is expected to pull price higher, with minor wave 4 labeled complete at this low. An Elliott channel is drawn around the minor degree movements using Elliott's second technique from the end of minor wave 2 to the end of minor wave 4 with a copy on the end of minor wave 3. Minor wave 5, intermediate wave C, and primary wave X may find resistance at the upper edge of this channel. Intermediate wave C has a target calculated at 14326, the 1.618 Fibonacci ratio of intermediate wave A. Once primary wave X is labeled complete, price is expected to overall move down for primary wave Y and the end of cycle wave 4. If minor wave 4 does continue any lower, though, it cannot move into minor wave 1 price territory at 11210.38. On the bearish daily chart with the end of minute wave 2 within minor wave 3 over here, we can see more detail for minor wave 4 with minute waves W, X, and Y. An Elliott channel is drawn around these minute degree movements using Elliott's first technique from the beginning of minute wave W to the end of minute wave X with a copy on the end of minute wave W. Price has since increased from this low where minor wave 4 is labeled complete, and if there is a break to the upside of this channel, then we will have confidence in this low where minor wave 4 is labeled complete to be sustained, and price to move up for the end of minor wave 5, intermediate wave C, and primary wave X. On the technical weekly chart, price has continued to consolidate within support at 12500 and resistance at 14250. Volume has overall declined. This current candlestick is incomplete, so we cannot draw any conclusions from that, though we can see that it has steadily declined in the last few weeks. On-balance volume continues in a range with no signal. ADX is declining with no clear trend. RSI and money flow both neutral, and stochastics neutral, having just failed to enter oversold. And overall ATR is flat to declining as price continues to consolidate. On the technical daily chart, price has moved up towards resistance at 13600 and has since begun to decline. Volume overall declining. On-balance volume has no new range and gives no signal. ADX is declining with no clear trend. RSI and money flow both neutral, and stochastics neutral, having just returned from overbought. As ADX does not indicate a clear trend and stochastics has just returned from overbought, the model of stochastics and support and resistance expects a downward swing towards support around 12500 may occur soon. And on the Nasdaq AD chart, the AD line continues to make lower lows while price continues to make higher lows. This continues long-term bearish divergence dating back to February 2023 and all the way back to 2009. That's all for me with your weekly update for Nasdaq. Hope everyone has a good week.